Gotta mess with everything all the time. One day I won't have to, I guess. Don't have to now, but I do. This is going to be about don't let people divide and conquer you. And that's really relevant in a lot of situations. And what I mean by that is you got a family in Otter Creek, aka Crick. I'll never get used to saying creek over crick. But there, you guys are out there and you're trying your best to divide each other. And you really are. Divide and conquer is what the other side is doing. And the other side is accomplishing divide and conquer. And it's okay when they try that, but it's not okay when a person falls into that. Every one of us at some point in our lives try to divide and conquer. Yes, as a child, I would, or as a little kid, I guess you might say, I would do that. I'd go up to one of my brothers and my sisters, say, you know what he was saying about you. A few minutes later, go up to the other one. You know what they did about you. And I conquered what I wanted to. Another thing I used to do as a kid, not as an adult, I'd be playing in a creek. It was probably about 3 or 4 inches high through the corrals. My nieces and nephews, some of them be there, and my little sister. I'd get tired of it, so I would go home, which was right there anyway, change my wet clothes. Then I'd go into mom and go, Mom, where's the other kids? Then she'd go chase them back and they'd be in trouble. I divided and conquered. We should leave that behind as adults for the most part. This is not war. And I wasn't going to talk about this because when I went and had coffee this morning, a couple of people hit on already what I was going to say. And I'm like, what good would it do me to say it now that they're out there? Because I wasn't copying them because it was Super Dave and another person out there. So I'm like, I'm going to come on here and talk anyway. Might bore you guys, but here is what's happening. There's a guy, and all of you know it, or most of you know it, need to be backed off of and not gone after because he has a different opinion now. He put a lot of his own money into this for that family in Otter Creek, and he did. And now some people say he's reneging on it. No, he's having second thoughts of what's going on. But that is between him and Lisa. I have nothing whatsoever bad about Dave. Whatever's there, them two need to work it out. Dave's a great guy for what he has done. Might not always agree with the guy, which is fine. Everybody's that way. But the problem we have is that that is exactly what is going on now with the other guy and his minions. They're laughing at us. They're laughing at people on this other side. You know why? Because we're falling into the divide and conquer. And that's exactly what they want to happen. They care less about the person. They do care about you trying to go after each other. It's the art of war. But we need to stop and think for a minute, is it really worth it? It is worth going and helping that family 100%. But when you divide amongst yourself, you will fall. A divided country or a divided issue with a bunch of people will always fail. You cannot divide and conquer if you're doing the right thing. The other side's trying to get you to divide and conquer. You guys and I kinda did it for a little bit and realized what I was doing because it wasn't meant. I didn't say anything negative, but I'm like, "I gotta back off of this," because what's going on with Dave and Lisa's deal. That does not mean you have to follow that and criticize. That is exactly what this guy and his minions are doing, and others on other channels. They're laughing in your face because of what you're doing. They have divided you against your own family virtually. They are dividing you to get their own way, and you're letting them, very much letting them do it. Because you think about it. If you guys are all bickering with each other over something you can't control, that's not a good sign that you're going forward. But when you go forward regardless of what's happening out there, and you know you're going right, this is about a child and a family that needs help. It ain't about individuals. You can like the people that's going forward, and you could be right behind them and saying, "Good job." You can hate that guy or girl. If they're going forward and helping, don't criticize them for the help they're giving, because then you're dividing your own group of people, and you cannot conquer when you do that. The other side's laughing their ass off right now because they've already figured out they can divide and conquer you, and they will win. Why do you want to sacrifice a family? Is exactly what the other side's doing. So why would you want to sacrifice a family to be divided? And there's a couple of channels on here. It is like family. It really is. But why do you want to destroy exactly what the other guys are doing? Think about it. Is that not what they're trying to do, is destroy that family and make it harder on them? Why are we doing it? Really, why are we doing it? Is it so hard for us to take a good look at ourselves and make sure we're one? That's right, one. We all got different opinions on how to go about it, but when you fight as one, you go forward. When you decide you don't like somebody and you're going to get on here and criticize them and all that crap, you're playing into their hands, which means they're dividing you. They're dividing this community that's trying to help somebody. And that's a shame because it's not you that'll get hurt. It's not me that'll get hurt. It's that family trying to progress. They are the ones that will be hurt. And I'm not like I said, I think David done a great job. Don't know the guy. He don't know me. He's probably never seen me on here. If he has, he's never acknowledged it, which is fine. But we need to go forward as one, not divided. Do you not think this is part of a plan to divide the good versus the evil? And that's exactly what's going on. Leave Dave alone. Leave Lisa alone on this issue and go forward. When you go forward and keep your eyes on what needs to be kept your eyes on, you will conquer and win. But this is more about not even winning. This is making sure certain people are taken care of in their life. Every one of us at some point has needed help. We may lie about it, but every one of us has needed help at some point. But I'm not criticizing anybody that's doing this, but all I'm saying is take a good look at what you're doing and what you're criticizing, because you can't go forward because it's working for their cause. It's working that they are dividing you. And you shouldn't have to be divided. You should be united. And for the most part, you are, but it's starting to go down that road and it needs corrected. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, 100% not. But the idea is we need to go forward in the direction of the this is for a child. This isn't for individuals that don't like each other. Okay? Got to get rid of that and go forward. Even the people that are arguing with each other are actually good people because some things happen on the other side. You just want to rip their nose off or something. But here's the thing, they know they're dividing and they laughing their ass off at you because they're dividing you. You cannot conquer if you're divided. And they know this. And there's a direct or indirect plan to do this. Everybody needs to stand up and do what's right. This is a family. This is a family that can be united and help. And that's more important than somebody's ego. We are playing the same game as the other side's doing when you're doing this. You are not accomplishing one thing by going out there and dividing a good cause. You can't look at it and say, well, this person did this. In this case, I mean, criticism is one thing, but you have to move forward to get the job done. Criticizing the people that's trying to help a person, that means you're not helping, you're hindering, which means you're dividing. And it isn't anyone, it could be everyone. You got to get off that kick of dividing people. You know, you got some really, really good people out there doing really, really good things. You do not have to like them, but that don't mean they're not doing a good thing. And if they're out there doing something that's good and you decide you don't like them and you're willing to give up the good that a person has done, that don't mean you're not cautious. Never do that. But you decide, oh, this person, I don't like this person no more. Was this person doing the right thing? You have your opinion, but if you have an opinion, even in your own little groups, don't put it on here. If you need to talk to somebody on the side, go do it. You don't need to come on here and make it look like the good guys are getting divided because you're just hurting your own cause. Everybody doesn't get along with everybody. That's just a fact of life. So why are you out there trying to hurt a kid? That's what you're doing in the long run. Yes, you're helping two adults, but the one that really will get hurt is that child. Is it worth trying to divide yourselves? It isn't the other side really that's dividing you. It's this side not wanting to stand together. And I think you will in the end. But I'm just saying, look, there's certain ways you can handle certain things, and that's the way it needs to be handled. Because every one of you want the best for that child. I cannot in any way, anybody that's contributed here, I contributed in my heart. I can't do anything else. But all them that contributed was doing that for a child. Why do you want to oh, damn phone. Why do you want to sacrifice something like that? And you really are. It's not intentional. I know this is one of the greatest communities you could find. It's not about the dollars, it's about human beings. And you guys have all shown that you're human and sympathetic for people in need because we've all needed help at one point or another. We can move forward on this. When something is thrown out there to divide you, don't fall for it. Like uh, going after Gabe, which is BS, but they know everybody will jump on board and they'll jump on board and start criticizing because they criticized him. Maybe Lisa handles that and you still go forward. Don't discourage yourself from doing what's right. Always move forward. Don't let them dictate bad things to you. This is, like I said, one of the greatest communities to come together to fight for what is right. When you fight for what is right, you will come out ahead. But all these little bumps in the road, like they are 100%, they're trying to divide and conquer and deflect. You have to recognize that. That's the thing. Recognize what they're doing. Call them out if you want. But remember, always move forward. You don't need to criticize people because they may say something you don't like or do something you don't like. You have to stay focused on the ends here. If you do not stay focused, you're just hurting yourself and a child. Nobody on here wants to hurt that child. So the only way things get done if you go forward and do not let the other side divide and conquer. Do not, I repeat, do not let the other side divide and conquer. This is already in progress, whether you want to look at it that way or not. But look at it logically, what is going on. Don't let them do that. Stand united as a group of people. Show the world, show the other dumbasses on the other side, you will not fall for it. You will fight for everything you can to make this come true. You can fight for this family at all cost without divide and conquer. Let the other side try all they want, and they are, and they've kind of succeeded to a point of divide and conquer. But everybody needs to come together and conquer. Don't go down that road of dividing. One guy on here I heard earlier said maybe some of these YouTube channels, not talking about me, need to get together and work some things out to go forward. That's a good idea. That's not a bad idea, people. But it's the people that come on the channels, and there's some really, really great people there. We got to quit going after certain people or all people that are trying to achieve a goal in our life. This goal is for a child. When that goal isn't there, it's going to be because they divided and conquer. Is your ego so hard that you can't go, look, I'm putting that aside. I want to go forward. I may not like what this guy did, but that's okay. I'm still looking forward to help. I am not going into the mode of criticizing and putting somebody down that you think's did something they shouldn't done or backed out of something. Forget that. Let the people handle that need to handle that. Don't get into that trap. Go forward. Shove this divide and conquer down their rear ends on the other side. Don't let them tell you what you can and can't do. Don't let them deflect while they're laughing their asses off at you. And that's exactly what's happened. This side has done so much and shown so much love for a family. That should be everybody's goal, is to keep helping and have that support for them. Don't give up on that support. Some of the other things that happen, let certain people handle that, because you're not in a position to handle that. You are in a position to go forward. Don't criticize people and go down that drain, because all hands need to go forward. We cannot look back and say, yeah, this guy should have did this or this guy should have did that. You may believe that, and that's all well and fine, but don't put it out here. Go forward with what you're doing on here. Don't let people dictate to you to divide and conquer. Stand united. Show the people that you are not divided. You are united. When you are united, there's no way that other side could ever win. And they know it. That's why the deflection and dividing is happening right now. They want to take you down, because they know if you stand united and stand up for what is right, they have no chance, and they know it. So go forward. The petty stuff can go to the side and go forward and achieve what needs to be achieved here. Don't let anybody put you on the back burner as like off to something that happened to this person or this person. No, go forward, fight for what's right, and let the chips fall where they may. But everybody on here, whether you like each other or not, need to stand united. You need to make a commitment that you will stand united, because when you are united, the other side will lose. You have, regardless of personalities, you have to stand united. You have to show the world that you are united. You have to show these minions and his leader that you are not, you will fight, because you are united. Because when you're united, you will take them down. They may not think so, but the best thing in the world to win is when you're united. So the petty stuff shouldn't even come out now. You should go forward and show who you really are and be united. Remember, you will defeat the minions and the leader of the minions. Oh, I'm positive, but that's what I'm getting at here. You stand up united, you will win. And that's what I'm getting at. Uh, don't divide, stand united. Not much, Cook, John. But yeah, why not stand united? Because that's the only way you're going to go forward. Even as a kid, even as nothing to do with this, how many times have you succeeded because you weren't united with something? Usually, when you're not united, you will win. No, no, I'm not a veteran, but I'll tell you what, I come from a big family. I have one brother that spent over 20 years in the Air Force. I've had two other brothers that spent the time in the Army. I have probably four or five nieces and nephews that's been in the Army. Probably that many in the Navy too. And a couple of other nieces and nephews, and both sides, not just the men, were in the Air Force. My father-in-law, and this is not a stretching the truth here at all? My father-in-law, which is gone now for some time, he was actually a driver for Patton. Yeah, he really was. Something happened, and he couldn't do a lot of things at the time, so they assigned him to drive General Patton around. And yes, he said his mouth was just like it's perceived to be. That's out of his mouth from driving him around. What game's that? I just want to play the game of being united. Because when you're united, you get more things accomplished. And when you stand up for John and his family, that's being united. Yeah, we really do need to be united. This is what I was getting at earlier. Some of you come in here. I was saying that the other side is trying to divide and conquer. And the only you can't and to some extent it's worked. But people need to come united. And this other guy's just not going to win at all. If you stand united, don't let him conquer what is going on. We all need to be united. When you stand, I know in military sense, you don't want your enemy to be united. You want to divide and conquer. And that one does work. And I think the other side here is trying to do the exact same thing. But I think when the people see what's going on, it's not going to work because they will be united. They're not going to let this crap go on. They will see what is happening and will stand up against all that are bad. Even if you don't can't stand each other, you will stand up and be united, and all else will fall in place. Keep your mind focused on what you are doing. Don't let these other people divide you and conquer you. I got to get off here, but remember, be united, stand as one. Thanks for those that have listened to me. And I wish everybody that's fighting for the right thing to be here and do the right thing. Don't be divided because you don't need conquered. You need to be the ones conquering the right. What is right? Thank y'all. Have a good afternoon.